Hey everyone, it's Sarah Spiker here again. Something funny happened. I just recorded about 20 minutes of a live stream that called to be shared, but the essence of the message I want to share with you took quite some time to actually come through. When it finally did, I'm just trying to fix the lighting here. There we go. So when it finally did, I totally deleted it. There's no accidents. There's no coincidences. I'm pretty sure that it was all exactly what it was meant to happen. So I will do a quick summary because there was the main point of the message that was coming through and I wanted to share with you. And it had to do with trusting intuitive guidance and how to develop intuitive strategies and create this sustainable success in a way that is fully aligned instead of going down the rabbit hole and following what everybody else is doing or what everybody else is saying to you. And you're hearing my kiddos in the background. They are just done with school and it's really exciting time here in our household. So just in case you hear some screaming, it's all good. Okay, so you know how when you find yourself being this visionary leader, you belong into 2% of people, I would say, that no longer subscribe to the conventional, that have come to terms with the fact that what most experts would advise, what most experts would teach, what the most people would consider as time-tested and proven methods and strategies, somehow they no longer work for you. Somehow you have outgrown them. And the reason I know is I'm one of us. I am one of the 2%. And it can be super frustrating. Trust me. It can be super frustrating, especially when you are a natural born strategist. I do consider myself one of the best strategists out there. It comes so natural to me. It is something that my soul knows. It is literally my default. Strategies are my default. You can wake me up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm ready to roll. That said, when it comes to the intuitive aspect of it, the intuitive part of it, something came through, like I said, on this live stream that I really wanted to share with you. And it has to do with knowing and listening to where you're feeling this excitement and alignment in your body. And how does your body feel when you think about it and when you allow it to come up? Oh my goodness, it's really exciting downstairs. So what I will share with you is that truth always feels light. Your truth always feels light. It always feels expansive. So when you give yourself a permission to quiet down and to tap into this vision of yours, that first and foremost, it is your vision for a reason, and it has been given to you because you have the capacity and you have the means of bringing into reality. It is a vision that sometimes other people will have no idea what it would be. Sometimes it's not even going to make any intellectual sense, any logical sense, but it is yours. So when you tap into it and you feel into it, this is now the first step. You are literally embodying this feeling of as if it's already done. Then is when you engage the strategic mind, the logical mind in devising the steps that are going to lead you towards and the guidance for you to know whether, my goodness, are we exciting out here. Those are my kids playing like crazy. As you're devising those logical steps, so to speak, now this feeling that you're embodying is your guideline whether or not you're still on the right track. And this is where we get oftentimes sucked into this rabbit hole because there's some disconnect between the world, so to speak, where our vision exists, when we can feel it, when we can taste it, when we can sense it with all of our senses. It's there, it's real. And then the 3D reality that 98% of other people are experiencing when you can actually touch things, and where we are living right now in our human experience, in our human bodies. This 3D reality sometimes lags behind the other world, and it needs some time to catch up, and the vision that we have needs some time to materialize. So if we now shift back and only make decisions based on this 3D reality, we're making decisions based on where we are coming from and not where we're going. We're making decisions based on lack and scarcity as opposed to the faith and trust and knowing. Plus, we are now putting the power into somebody else's hands who is not even in alignment with our vision to devise strategies based on what they have been taught, based on what their own experiences have been, based on what their own training has been. And this is why 98% of experts are not able to guide, to teach, to consult, to coach, to mentor, to strategize for the 2% that you and I belong to. They do not have the capacity, they do not have the capability to be at the level, to play at that level. And I'm saying this with utmost love and respect and absolutely no judgment. I am simply sharing this because sometimes I can remember from my own experiences how frustrating it was for me when I would get from my space of big vision and big goals when they were already true and I could feel them, taste them, smell them. I knew they were there, tapping back or even brought back by people around me who wanted to hold me accountable, so to speak, and they would be pointing out things that were not there quite there yet. How frustrated it was when, I'd hire and I would work with all those big names, and I'm like, well, they created this for themselves, they created this for other clients. How am I not seeing the desired results? How am I not seeing the desired results? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? This is not working, that's not working. Because I was so focused on the lack as opposed to investing this energy and focusing my energy on creation and manifestation. And, I want to be very pragmatic when it comes to the manifestation itself. And I shared a story about how I manifested coming to the States, how I manifested meeting my own husband, how I manifested actually giving birth to 2 daughters that I always envisioned having 2 girls. Even though we all know there's no such thing as controlling the gender of a child. Even how my own daughter manifested Lego toy set that she desired so much. It was not simply sitting down and envisioning and thinking about it. It was about taking this aligned action. And this brings me back to the beginning of our conversation here. This aligned action, when you know how the vision feels like, now you can use this as your Northern Star. And as you're taking action, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, it's going to go beyond your comfort zone. Yes, it's going to be unknown. Like for her, she had never made a purchase like this, that, she had no idea that, okay, now you have the money, now you're going to have to order it online, and this is going to be the process. All she knew is this is what she wanted, this is how much money she had to create, this is how much she had, and she took it step by step, day after day, one action at a time. But she never lost sight to where she was going. And within a couple of months, she received her box with this exact Lego set, and she was the happiest kid ever. And it's the same way here. Oftentimes we mistaken the manifestation process with simply, I'm gonna put my intention out, then I'm gonna sit in the corner and I'm gonna put my feet up and I'm gonna journal my heart out and everything's gonna come to life. It does not quite work that way. But there was another layer that I wanted to talk to you about as we are on this topic. And I touched it upon briefly when I said that many people around us have no capacity to tap into our vision and are still trying to hold us accountable. This is where, just as important part as utilizing and activating your intuition is also setting the boundaries and being really clear who is allowed in your space, energetic space, who is allowed to tap with you and be shared the big vision of yours, who is allowed in your space to so-called hold you accountable to begin with. Because every single time, the typical accountability, how it works is, oh, this is the list of things you said you would do. Bam, 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 bam. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Where is the deadline for this? Where is the deadline for that? It's very pragmatic, very tactical, very logical. But what is wrong with this approach, why it does not work for people like you and I, is because it's almost as if you were taking a needle and poke a hole into the balloon you're trying to inflate with your big vision. And it's almost like a hook that's pulling you back from the space where you already know it's true. And it's simply diverting your attention. And we all know that energy flows where your attention goes. And it's bringing your attention to things that are not quite there yet. And instead of you focusing on what is it you're creating, you're focusing on justifying your vision. You're focusing on justifying and defending yourself. You're focusing on explaining. And it just does not serve you. So it is crucial that you set those boundaries and that you have people around you who provide what I call high level accountability, which is no longer going by the list of actions that you were supposed to take and you said you would take and the results you said you would create. It is the accountability that is inviting you and supporting you in staying in aligned actions, in staying in the energetic space, in staying at the vibrational level through which you can now magnetize into 3D what is that you're creating. It is helping you release the limiting beliefs. It is helping you shatter and break through the self-imposed upper limits and break through and shift the old paradigms. That is the high level of accountability we're talking about here, and has nothing to do with checking off all the boxes on your to-do list. And that is what's allowing you to stay focused on this Northern Star of yours, to consistently, through micro alignments, stay in the energy and in the beliefs and in the feelings and in the emotions and action that are now going to create in 3D what is that you already know to be true in the highest levels, in your wildest vision and your most vibrant and deepest desires. And that's where this intuitive strategy comes to play. When it's no longer just looking through books that were written, 10, 20, 15 years ago, or somebody who has done this one thing one time is selling you a course or selling a copy-paste program, or when you have a mastermind of 20, 30, 10, 5, whatever amount of people sharing advice, going back and forth, and telling you, oh, this is what I did and you do it, and this is what I did and you do it, and this is what I did and you do it. At the end of the day, through that, you're trying to put a big picture together with pieces of a puzzles that belong to many different sets that don't even fit together. This is why it is crucial to have the support, the environment, to understand yourself enough to know that you either have it in you or you team up with those people who you feel called and in alignment with, and they will show up in your life. They will walk in your life when the time is right, when you are ready. I promise you that they always show up in your life when the time is right and when you are ready, on the energetic, on the subconscious level. Because this is a whole conversation for another time. When consciously, when you're ready, it's already too late, right? So the reason why I felt so strongly about sharing with you this is also knowing and honoring you and understanding that every single word I just shared has been through my own experience, and it is my truth. And I also know and honor you and trust you that whatever feels true to you, you will receive from this message. Whatever you feel is in alignment, you will take from this message and use from this message, because you do have the filter to filter the information through. You are smart, you are intelligent, you are experienced, and you know yourself, that you know exactly what applies to you and what doesn't. And if things don't resonate, I honor you just as much, because not every single thing, every single word is gonna resonate with you. And there's possibly some things that I just mentioned here or in any other video that might have triggered you, which is also a beautiful opportunity for you to explore deeper what evoked such a reaction and then take it from there. So this is the brief summary of what I intended to share with you earlier, and it was just divine arrangement that the video got deleted and this one is coming through. So sending you much love, and if you want to have a conversation around devising not just those intuitive strategies for you, but showing you and helping you activate everything that you need within you and releasing everything that no longer serves you, or as my clients would say, burning off everything that no longer serves and supports you. Let's have a conversation. Let's see how that gets to look like. I do have a couple of ways to support you fully in that, to challenge you, to guide you, to share energy with you, to hold space for you, to hold you in the space of love and light and expansion, as we are devising very pragmatic steps, 100% designed and customized for you. One of the options is also doing all of that while we turn the world into your playground. Doing all of that while creating a sacred space, not just for you, for your team also, or for your family. Really experience that is 100% customized to you and bringing to life your own deepest and most vibrant desires. So if this feels something that intrigues you, if this feels something that excites you, let's have a conversation and let's see how that gets to look like for you. Until then, I am sending you much love, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.